morning, and what do I say? Happy New Year to our amiable viewers. It's been 8 days into the new year. That is 8th of January. I'm sure you had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, and that the 2025 ended in praise. So, as I welcome you to 2026, I also welcome you to Beyond the Headlines. And this is our first program in the year. It's a program where we interrogate issues, political, socio-economic, cultural, but where we bring balanced stories to our viewers. And so today will not be an exception because of what is happening across the country, and in particular in Rivers State. Of course, it's no longer news that the Rivers is boiling again. This time for the right or wrong reasons, depending on the divide where you are. Fubara, Governor of Rivers State, is facing yet another attempt of impeaching him. Of course, two had happened. In one or two occasions, the president had to intervene. There have been political solutions, but it appeared that the last one is falling apart. And just yesterday, 26 members of the House of Assembly signed the petition, and which they are now trying to investigate the governor on a lot of issues, quite a lot of issues. The allegations are quite enormous. They accused him of gross misconduct. They say he alleged reckless and unconstitutional expenditure of public funds without legislative approval, and especially violating sections 120, 121, and 122 of the 1990 Constitution as amended. They also accused him of extra budgetary spending state funds without a valid past appropriation bill. Then, of course, talking about obstruction of functions, hindering the assembly from performing its constitutional duties. They still refer to the bulldozing or the pulling down of the assembly office. They also accused him of illegal appointments. Appointments wearing commissioners and other officials without legislative screening and confirmation. They talk about seizure of funds. Well, they say he allegedly withheld salaries and allowances due to House of Assembly and Service Commission. Seizure of property, of course, I've cited that. The immediate trigger was Governor Fubara's refusal to present the 2025 appropriation bill to the Amaiwule-led assembly, which he had declared non-existent. I had thought that those things had been solved by the presidential intervention. That there's now one House of Assembly, but as it would appear now, it does seem that there's still more. And of course, let's remember that there was a Supreme Court judgment in 2025 February, to be exact, that validated the 27 pro-Wike lawmakers' seats and barred financial agencies from releasing funds to the state until it complies with legislative and budgetary requirements. The list is quite on, and of course, they talk about party defection. So the Fubara recently defection from the PDP to the APC has further complicated the political landscape. Those state APC leaders under Tony Okocha have maintained that his defection does not grant him immunity from these proceedings. So, what process governs an impeachment? Section 188 of the Nigerian Constitution says the Speaker has directed that the notice of allegation be served on the governor within 7 days. The governor and deputy have 2 weeks to defend themselves against the charges. But there is just a lingering news. It's not yet confirmed, but it appears the chief judge of the state, who actually has the powers to constitute the panel, they say is proceeding on 1 year leave. Mm-hmm. And to have an acting chief judge, the governor will have to do that. If both are removed, the speaker will serve as acting governor. These are issues that revolve around the rivers. But this morning we are being joined by a media scholar, public relations consultant, a refined journalist, I don't know what he said adding Chekwube to his name. I know him as Emmanuel Nzomiwu. He now calls himself Chekwube.
Yes.
Of course, PhD. He's a veteran journalist. He's based in Enugu. He's worked in Abuja. He knows the Nigerian political terrain, just like the back of his hand. So, Emma, good morning and welcome to Beyond Headlines.
Good morning, Doc. Thanks for having me.
From your view, from your perspective, does the ongoing political crisis in Rivers State constitute gross misconduct, as defined by Section 188 of the 1992 Constitution, the legal threshold for impeachment? Do you think that all these I've read out constitute gross misconduct?
No, I don't think so, because you've actually concluded this discussion. You started with the background.
I've just stated the issues as they were.
Exactly. So you have concluded everything. So we know that what is happening in Rivers has nothing to do with gross misconduct. You know, what is happening in Rivers State is political. You know, and it has lingered ever since Fubara became governor. You see, I recall that when this matter started, I wrote an article that was widely published in many national dailies, where I actually dissected what is happening in Rivers State. And in fact, I said that every lover of democracy in Nigeria should be concerned with ongoings in that state that time, because that it could truncate our democracy. Because if we start looking at it from onset, there were issues I raised that time, and I think that those issues, we are now seeing the consequences. All these rounds of impeachments, because you actually captured it in your introduction when you said that this impeachment has occurred 3 times, and it has actually occurred 3 times. The first time it occurred was when Fubara demolished the House of Assembly. I think that was the time the president intervened for the first time. And I could recall that in that article I wrote, I cited elaborately people like Robert Clark-San, who warned that it was dangerous for the president to intervene in what was happening in Rivers State that time. You know, like the first issue I raised, this issue of the presidential intervention. The Constitution is very clear that the Constitution, the general provision, the first schedule, the first part of it establishes the federal, the state, and the FCT in terms of the tiers of government, and it made it clear that the president is in control of the executive arm of government at the federal level, while the governors are in control at the state level. Then for FCT is manned by a minister appointed by the president. So what it means is that the person, Fubara's godfather, who from all indication, who we all know, let me not say all indication, who we all know is the mastermind of what is happening in Rivers State, is an appointee of the president. So, and that warning was issued that time, that the president should not be mediating in what is happening in the state, especially when the main characters or the main gladiators are a minister who was appointed by the president and the governor who is in charge of the state. Of course, we know that the House of Assembly, we know who they are working for. So let me not start talking about the House of Assembly. We know who is controlling them. So, and that warning was issued that time when the president intervened, and people warned that this thing could be counterproductive. Many people did not listen, and it eventually happened. And I could recall also that time there was also fears. People were warning the president that he should allow the legal process to take its course. An advice the president didn't heed and waded into that. And that the president wading into that matter culminated in the issue of the groups, that is the FCT minister and the House of Assembly, and then Fubara and some Rivers leaders on the other side signing an agreement, and I recall at that time I also raised the issue of godfatherism. I said that one issue that has threatened our democracy from onset was this issue of godfatherism. We knew what happened during the days of Mbadinuju and Emekofo Isoba. Even in Enugu here, Honorable, you were once an active member of the PDP. And when you were very active, we knew what happened between Jim Nwobodo and Chimaroke Nnaman. So, and all this. So, we've seen the bad side of this thing. So, I raised these issues then, but nobody cared to listen. And not only me, so many concerned Nigerians, people who love democracy, warned that this thing could be counterproductive. Eventually, the president entered into kind of was able to engineer an agreement between all the parties, and they went back to Rivers State. Of course, we knew at a point that agreement could not stand again, and there was another attempt to impeach Fubara, and that was when Fubara, part of the first agreement was that Fubara should represent the budget before the Ameule group. They properly consider. At a time when that thing started, the House broke into two. The one led by Ameule, they were about 26 members, and about 5 or 6 members who were loyal to Fubara. And you know that along the line, Fubara appointed one of the House members as his chief of staff. So that crisis was there. I think that Fubara group was sitting in Government House because then this thing had already been demolished, the House of Assembly complex. The other people were sitting at the House of Assembly quarters conference room. And also, by the time this matter came up, that second time, Fubara, there were certain conditions both sides were told to go and meet. Wike at a point said that they had met their own side of it. And Fubara said he had met his own side. But when he now went to represent the budget as was directed by the president, that was when this issue of impeachment started again. Another crisis was triggered. The House members refused. They said he was not going to present. Of course, we all knew what happened along the line. A series of events that occurred and that culminated in the state of emergency in Rivers State that made Fubara to be out of office for about 6 months, and eventually another agreement was brokered, and he came back to office, and we are now back to
square one
again. Which shows that all those warnings that were issued that time about the intervention of the president being counterproductive, that is what
really
we're witnessing again. So,
okay, I'm going to ask one question, and that has to do with the Supreme Court.
Yes,
the Supreme Court made profound findings of breaches of the Constitution against the governor. I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes.
So what is the legal weight of these findings in an ongoing impeachment process?
No, let me, I don't want to undermine the integrity of our judiciary. The Supreme Court is the highest court.
Yes.
I don't want to go into, because like I told you, I pointed out that at a point when that matter started, people expected that the president shouldn't intervene. We expected that the judicial process should take its course, but the president waded in, when those matters were before the Supreme Court. So, and a lot of things have happened. Even while the president was brokering the deal, things were happening in court. Even at a point, people could no longer take count of things that were happening there. So, talking about the problem that is going on in Rivers State, it is political. I don't want to delve into the legal part of it, because we know what is happening. We know what is happening in Rivers State. The House has made it very difficult for Fubara to operate as a governor in that state. They have made it very difficult.
I listened to the spokesman of the House, one honorable judge, last night on traditional television, and this issue of the minister's interference and you say minister is their leader, but the issue of being their leader is a different thing from constitutional breaches. That you see, I just say because they have a godfather called Wike, that when the governor makes a breach of the constitution, they should look the other side. That they are elected as an equal arm of the executive to perform their duties. That as they speak, that the governor has even accentuated by the Supreme Court, had made several constitutional breaches, and that is for them to hold him to account. And so why are people bringing Wike to it every other time? Yes, they belong to, they are loyal to Wike, but would that foreclose they are doing their constitutional elected duties? That the governor has not presented the appropriation for budget estimates for 2026. The man asked him, but they said people asked him, he said he has not even presented it. There's no discussion on it. That he's working with people who are not screened and approved for him to work with. So are those Wike's doing?
Okay, but is it not an irony? You know what I said here the other time when this issue, after the first agreement was brokered by the president, that Fubara wanted to go and represent the budget to this same house that time. They locked him out. These people that are saying now you have not presented the budget. Let me tell you something. You know, I studied the document that the allegations they made against Fubara, and after studying the allegations, I laughed. You know, because to me that's the argument. What they stated, all those allegations were made. They are one-sided. Okay, for instance, the Constitution. They were saying constitutional breaches, extra budgetary spending, and that the man did not present. Yes, the Constitution in section 120, you know, says that at the beginning of every fiscal year, as the governor, you should prepare a budget and send to the House and lay it before the House for approval. That is the norm. That is what is done. But that same constitution, because what they are saying, they said the man is spending money from the Consolidated Revenue Fund without approval. And that constitution, the same constitution, says that the governor, as a governor, you can spend money from that Consolidated Revenue Fund. Assuming if you have not presented the budget, you can spend money for, I think, about 6 months, pending when
the budget
is approved, or when the budget, the entire thing takes effect. It is still in the Constitution. So has that 6 months limit been exhausted by Fubara?
What of working with unapproved personnel, commissioners and things like that?
No, it all depends. You know, I don't want to start you know, saying things I don't know about, because a lot has happened on this matter since Fubara became. Fubara is the most distracted governor in Nigeria under this dispensation. Since the man came into office, these people have not allowed him to rest. We know what is happening.
Who are the people?
You know, I'm talking about the FCT minister and the house of his boys, the House of Assembly.
Okay, but is Fubara not one of the boys of the FCT minister?
No, let me tell you. I
when you say his boys,
I talked about godfatherism in politics. Let us not forget, even the FCT minister himself was once somebody's boy.
Yes.
And I'm sure if those people who were his godfathers tormented him to this point, he wouldn't have.
He fought Amechi to stand still.
So
in fact, he liberated himself from Amechi.
He fought Amechi, and that is why let me tell you, I think the problem we are having in Rivers State is because Fubara is not the usual or the normal Nigerian politician. You know, Nigerian politicians, they know how to handle matters. You know, Fubara is not the normal Nigerian politician. If not, it's just that because of his peaceful disposition, if he's not the kind of person who is disposed to peace, maybe Rivers would have been burning by now. You know, it would have been burning about. It is. I think that the other group, they are taking advantage of his peaceful disposition. What is happening is all politics.
Is it peaceful, is it peaceful or being weak?
No, it's not. No, I think no, it's not about being weak. It's just like he's peaceful. He doesn't want trouble in Rivers State.
Okay, let me when I talk about being weak, I don't know about you. If you have made a governor and you are governor and it's the same revenue that Wike was having when he was governor, and you're also having the same revenue, and then you have 32 honorable members and you can only maintain 7 or 6. When you are governor, you have the same resources of rivers available to you. Peace that one man who had left could control 26, 27, and you say it is strength. What kind of political strength is that?
Let me tell you something that, I even see what is happening in Rivers beyond Wike. I see what is happening in Rivers as an attempt by the president to make sure that he keeps Rivers State because of the importance of Rivers in national elections in Nigeria. Rivers is a very wealthy state. That is one. Okay, if you had listened to Wike the other time he spoke, he was saying that Fubara is because maybe he felt he is in control of 600 billion naira, that he has the people. So which shows that Wike is worried about that money that Fubara is controlling. He knows what people can do with money during elections.
Some people have money and don't know how to use it. No, see, you know why I said so?
Yes.
If Fubara knew how to use that money, what do you think is the reason why Wike is keeping the 27? You think they're hungry? You think it is blind loyalty?
No.
Let's be factual. You think it is blind loyalty? If they can't pay their bills, they can't take care of their families, they can't do other things, you think they'll be loyal?
No, it is possible that it is blind loyalty. Let me put it
blind loyalty
because
on an empty stomach.
No, it is.
It doesn't happen anywhere.
No,
it doesn't happen anywhere in Nigeria.
It is possible that, because I don't see, even at times I ask myself, these House of Assembly members, are they not from Rivers State? Because if such a thing is happening in your state and you are just interested in the political side of it without thinking about development. Let me tell you what you are.
I was going to really ask you, how does all these affect development in Rivers State? Because it's important.
Yes.
This crisis, whether they are going to impeach, they're not going to impeach, from one crisis. In fact, one body said that in Rivers State, it is, they made a reference to one novel, 1 week, 1 trouble. To say that in Rivers State, it is 1 month, 1 trouble. So how does that affect the well-being and development of Rivers State?
No, the thing is dragging the state back. What is happening in Rivers is right in terms of development, because, okay, look at the House of Assembly members said that they got information that Fubara converted Rivers money into dollars and was busy sharing it to people in Abuja. So if, assuming this is true.
Who said that?
The House of Assembly members.
Okay.
So that money that should have been used to develop Rivers is now channeled into political patronages, But that is just one side of it. But what I'm saying, in effect, from where we started this discussion, that what the House people are doing, this current impeachment move against Tinubu,
against Fubara.
Sorry, I said against Tinubu.
You want to impeach?
No, against
Fubara.
Against Fubara. What I'm saying is the current impeachment moves against Fubara, that it is politically motivated.
Okay.
There is nothing like talking about gross misconduct and that extra budgetary spending. We know what has been happening there in the past 29 to 30 months. So under such circumstances, when did even Fubara come back to office to even prepare the budget? Somebody who was out of office for 6 months on suspension and he returned, and you expect him to prepare the budget and submit that budget the time other governors who were in office during that period did their own. It's not possible. After taking over from the sole administrator, he needed time to look at the books, to organize his staff, to prepare the budget, and then take it to the House. So you don't. I think he came back in August or so, and they were expecting him to present the budget immediately. I know it's not possible.
No,
it's not possible.
Doc.
Yes,
you seem to have taken a stand, and then you find the members of the House of Assembly guilty of interfering with the affairs of the executive. I want to look at it from an analyst's point of view.
Yes.
If you go back to the beginning,
yes,
you would cover that if you are going to ask me to become governor and you lay that condition, I would say no, clearly no to it. I tell you, I've had people ask me for appointment and I asked them, what is it all about? They told me and I walked away. Now, you know that Fubara, day one, was handpicked to become a governor. And the man said, and that was what the president looked at and said, there were conditions precedent to you becoming governor. So if you said you would do those and then become governor, then you don't want to do them, then you are lying. You are not being honest, because if there is something you cannot do, you clearly say, look, I can't do this. My conscience won't allow me to do this. But you accepted it, took up the job, and then you reneged on virtually everything that was precedent to your becoming governor.
No, you
say he's not a usual person.
We are going into another discussion.
No, I'm just saying, I don't have a presidential interference.
Yes.
When they said, these are the facts before us.
Yes.
A journalist, I'm also a journalist.
Yes.
Now, these are the facts before us. These are what we agreed.
Yes.
Show me the one that Fubara has done. That was why the president, said, look, go back. You guys should try and work out your things. Because now, how come that majority of the Rivers elders are with Wike? Forget about House of Assembly.
A majority of
watch it.
Because I know that people like Peter Odili.
I said majority. I didn't say all. I said majority.
Odili is with. No, you said Rivers a majority. Odili is with.
I didn't say all. Majority.
With Fubara. Omehia. So let's know Omehia is with Fubara. Uche Secondus is with Fubara.
When
Austin Opara is with Fubara. So if you are saying, I don't think it's really the majority. It's all this.
Then you don't watch their outings.
Those who are with Wike. No, I watch their outings now. Those who are with, even Mbata, Wike's godfather, is with Fubara. I
think Mbata has a different issue with Wike.
Let me tell you, those people you see moving about with Wike, always doing rally with him. Those people are people who are benefiting from that crisis in River State. Those people don't want the crisis to end because of what they are benefiting from the FCT minister. So that is the way I see it. It's not even a case of maybe that I've taken sides with Fubara. I'm not from River State.
Okay.
I've not even met Fubara, and I've even written articles stating my position on this matter, that what is happening in River State is not fair, that a governor cannot be sharing power with a minister, an appointee of the president. It has never happened anywhere before. It has never happened. That has been my point. I've been very clear on it, and I've been very clear that godfatherism is detrimental to our democracy. People who are elected into office, even if Wike handpicked Fubara, INEC declared him winner. INEC declared he was issued a certificate of return. And let me tell you, this issue of impeachment is a very dangerous thing in a democracy. Let me tell you why. It is dangerous for a governor who was supposedly elected with the votes of the entire population to be removed by 32 people or 32 people.
That's a questionable requirement.
No, I'm saying it is very dangerous in a democracy and that is why the Constitution made the process of impeachment very cumbersome to make sure that people don't abuse it.
Those people are the true representative of the people. Because let me tell you, you find from every constituency somebody speaking. And the Constitution envisages that before they do anything, they consult their people.
Yes.
They are closer to their people than the governor is to their people. Okay? And so it's not the voice of one man, it's the voice of several sections of the state that are not speaking. So that is why even in America, in every legislature, they have the powers to do what? To impeach or remove.
Constitution made that the process of impeachment very cumbersome to make sure that people don't abuse it. This thing that is happening in Rivers State is an abuse. It is an abuse of that. Look at how many times they have done it. They did it the first time. They did it the second time, and they are doing it. They are now trivializing it.
Can I now ask you the main question of this topic? Can Fubara really be impeached?
Let me
give me the circumstances as you know it now. Can Fubara be impeached?
Is there a possibility? I will look at it. I will talk about it from two angles.
Okay.
In terms of the impeachment, the House of Assembly, that instrument is there, the process is there, and you have recounted the process of that impeachment. You recounted it here during the introduction, so they can impeach him if they are able to meet the constitutional requirement. But if we should talk about what they are doing, if we should talk about what they are doing now in Rivers, I don't think it is possible. Of course, if it is that possible, the first two occasions they did it, they should have easily removed the governor if it is like that. Because let me tell you something we should understand in this matter.
Yes.
That is very clear in this matter. What is clear in this matter is that the FCT minister wants to remove the governor. Mind you, other ministers traveled for Christmas, and in January they left. But since January, the FCT minister has been moving about in Rivers State from local government to local government.
Is his right to do that?
Criticizing the governor, calling him a bad boy, saying that they are going to bring another person to replace him, that he should keep to the agreement between both of them. I don't know if that agreement.
That is the core matter. That's the point.
And I don't know, but let me tell you, Rivers State is beyond two people.
Theoretically, yes.
Rivers State is a state. Two people, an agreement between two people cannot decide the destiny of Rivers people.
Do you know, for example, that in every democracy, a tiny minority rules the majority? Do you know?
See, let me tell you.
Do you know in every democracy,
yes,
a tiny minority?
Yes, that iron law of oligarchy, is that what you're saying? But let me tell you, in this case we are talking, you said a tiny minority. You might be right. It happens everywhere. But let me tell you, at times, certain things that some of these theories are Western oriented.
Democracy is Western oriented.
No, let me tell you, even democracy is Western oriented, but we should also consider our peculiarities here. Nigeria is a developing country.
Then we should leave presidential system.
No, it's not as if there is anything wrong with the presidential system. The problem we have in Nigeria are the people who are the problem are the actors. The actors. There's nothing wrong with the system. But we are talking about the players. Are they playing by the rules? Are they okay? For instance, if you are saying how can you come out overnight and say you want to impeach the governor? The governor, assuming he has been spending outside the budget, and which the constitution permits. The constitution said 6 months that you can spend within 6 months, pending the approval of that budget. And if the governor has been doing that, have you ever gone to engage the governor? Mr. Governor, what is holding you from coming to present the budget to the House? Have you engaged him?
I want you to hold that. I want to hold that thought. We'll be going on a short break, but you see, before we do that, I want to let you know that a House of Assembly does not establish any concrete reason to remove anybody if they so wish. I've been in government. If they say they don't like the size of your shoe, and they muster the majority, and call it gross misconduct, you go. That's their constitutional right.
Yes.
Now, so as an executive, all you must do is to ensure you do not do those things that will raise those concerns. Question whether they have a right. It's like saying whether the governor say there should be road here, and there should be road here. It is their right. Now, you can only appeal to them okay, and talk with them. But when we come back, we're going to look at certain issues. Is there any way we can end this crisis without going through impeachment? What is the role of the national party that they've now joined APC in all this? And then what lessons should other states be learning from what is happening in Rivers State? And there can they manage their states so they don't go into what happened in Rivers? So those are the things we'll be talking about when we come back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly.
Not everything makes it into the headlines, but we bring you the full story. Join Uchenna Cyril Anyoke, a renowned media personality and former president of the Nigerian Publishers Association, as he unpacks the real issues behind the news. From politics to public policy, economy to human rights, nothing is off limits. Expert guest, in-depth conversation, local and global perspective. New episode every week on Facebook and YouTube. Watch now on Freedom Square TV. Follow for updates and behind the scenes clips. Beyond the headlines, beyond the news.
You are still watching Beyond the Headlines on Freedom Square TV, and we're still reaching you from our studios, Coal City State of Enugu. I guess it's still Emmanuel Chekwube Nzomiwu, who of course is a renowned journalist, media practitioner, scholar, of course a public relations consultant. He has been around the Nigerian media space like a colossus. Yes, Doc, before we left, I was going to ask some really questions that, somehow outside the immediate port of the rivers. Now, my first question is, both Fubara and the legislators are now members of APC. And so one is wondering, what is the role of this party in mediating or escalating this conflict? And have the actions been consistent with the aim of ensuring stability? The last time, Wike was warning the national secretary of the party. And I learned they also factionalized APC in Rivers State. But of course, since they belong to one political party, except Wike, who is neither PDP, so to speak, or APC or whatever. So, have you seen any prominent role being played by the national leadership of the APC to ensure that this thing is de-escalated?
Before I respond, let me first of all tell you that Wike belongs to Renewed Hope Movement. That he said he no longer belongs to any party.
Okay, his party is now
Renewed Hope Movement also.
Okay, so, that is Tinubu.
That is it. So, but that is what some of us we have been wondering why the governor and House of Assembly members who belong to the same party should be fighting each other. But then we cannot be wondering also, because we know the unseen hand behind what is happening. The FCT minister is teleguiding the House of Assembly members. And he is not a member of the APC. That was why Ajibola Bashiru, the National Secretary of APC, had issues with him the other time, because somebody who does not belong to APC cannot be dictating to the party how to deal with a governor who belongs to APC. I remember that the last time the president appointed some people to go and do reconciliation in the party, Fubara was among those appointed as members of the reconciliation committee. So Wike does not belong to the party. But the fact is this, let me tell you, even the House of Assembly members who are claiming that they are APC today, I don't know if in Nigeria it is acceptable for somebody to defect to a party 2 times. Because I know that when that issue started initially, they defected. And that was one of the issues in court before the president mediated that first time. And of course, we knew how the entire thing ended in court and how the court ruled. I don't want to kind of denigrate our courts or say things that might paint them in bad light. But many people questioned the justice in the ruling they gave that time. And then after that, we now saw these people again defecting to APC the second time. So that's why I said I don't know if it is possible to defect twice, but we know that Fubara only defected once after the state of
Nigerians defect anyhow. They defect.
Okay, so you are saying that the House of Assembly members defected from PDP to APC, back to PDP, and also, well, that is one thing. So the party itself, I think that so far, from what we have witnessed, APC as a party, at the national level, they are behind the governor of Rivers State, who is one of them.
Can I ask you a question?
Even the admin sec.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, yes.
Who is the leader of the APC?
The leader of the APC is the president. But I know that the Ajibola Bashiru, from his comments, is fully, the national secretary is fully behind Fubara. And the admin sec also issued a statement, the admin sec of the party, and said that even if Wike decides today to join APC, that Fubara will be his leader. The admin sec said that if he joins, he will be following Fubara, because Fubara is the governor, Fubara is the leader. And even the president has made it clear severally. The president has made it clear severally that he is dealing with the governors, that the governors are his anchor people in different states.
Okay.
That is why even governors who belong to other parties are now defecting. The president invited some of them, and they are now defecting to his party. So he's dealing with the governors. So this issue of Wike is something I cannot explain in Nigerian politics.
Can I help you a bit?
Yes.
I won't say where it happened, but there was once where there was this local government system. There was going to be an election, and there was a governor, like a local government chairman.
Mm.
And then governor looked at the chairman, said, "Okay, the election we're going to do, stay out."
Yes.
He appointed somebody else to man the election because he knew the chairman cannot deliver that local government.
Yes.
So if you assume that because somebody is governor, who had never conducted an election in his entire life,
Yes.
who was midwifed into an election, that he can run an election, sometimes it is not true. Sometimes it is not true. Sometimes we overestimate the intellect and capability of governors, not because they give orders. Now, the issue is they call Fubara a lamb. He's a quiet gentleman. And you don't win elections in Rivers by being quiet.
No, it's true.
I get him that.
True.
So you might think that because he's governor, he controls the streets. It's possible he does not even know where the streets are.
Yes.
Yet he's governor. So sometimes I see if the president wants the thing happening in Rivers to stop, don't think it will stop.
No.
See.
The only way the problem in Rivers State, the only way to stop it is for the president to call.
That's why I'm saying now.
He appointed him.
Now you assume the president is not aware of what's happening in Rivers. You assume he does not know his ability, his capacity to call Wike to order. He has not called him to order. So why are we not looking at some? Are you not seeing what I'm saying?
No, but I said it. Yeah, I said it earlier in this.
But you said the president should do.
I said it earlier in this program that what is happening in Rivers appears to be beyond.
Don't you think that people even
Rivers,
believe that
it is politics of?
Don't you think that
the next general election?
Don't you think that even by intelligence report which the president gets, that if they're going to be a vote in Rivers, that the man you are saying that is FT minister may control the majority of the votes, however the votes come. I remember his role in ensuring that President Tinubu becomes president. You see, it's a pity I'm asking the question from this side. It's me that I'm on their side. Now, you must look at the mass antecedents. Are there people you can push away easily? Are there people you can just throw away?
No, but it all depends.
No, you know how Rivers. See, this man you call Wike delivered the whole House of Assembly to PDP in Rivers.
Yes.
Delivered the governor, House of Reps, senators, and delivered the president. Mm-hmm. Which other governor was able to do that?
How did he deliver?
However he did it. So you see, PDP won the others, but when it came to the president, Rivers, it went to the president. So sometimes we may not really know what's going on between these people. And so it may not be as simple as we see it. But having said that, let me ask you another question. And that is the long-term impacts of the executive-legislative conflict in Rivers State on good governance and political stability in other states. Can this have a spiral effect? Are there some other godfathers that may want to do what Wike is doing? Do you think it's possible it can happen in another state?
And that is my fear, which I started shouting about when this problem in Rivers State started. This issue of godfatherism, I thought Nigeria, our democracy had gone beyond that.
It's not going to die.
No, but with what is happening in Rivers, it could encourage other people, other godfathers, to try to control their boys in government. Their godsons in government. Let me tell you, we have grapevine information that in a state in the southeast here, that the sitting governor and the immediate past governor who helped him to come to power, that they are having squabbles, but it is being managed somehow.
That's
because the two of them belong to the same party. They believe, that this Wike's case with Fubara is different. In Wike's case, Wike belongs to Renewed Hope Movement. He no longer belongs to any party. Again, PDP expelled him and issued him an expulsion certificate. And then
he's managing the faction. He's managing the faction of PDP.
Is that faction still in existence?
Well, we don't know.
Because you've seen some members of that faction defecting to other parties.
Yes, they are defecting.
So that is, for instance, in Enugu here, Gilbert Naji is now a member of the ADC. So. But
do you know? You may not take this into consideration, but I'm just trying to. The Renewed Hope agenda actually runs APC.
You're just telling me.
No, but look at it. That is where the Renewed Hope agenda is the movement that takes the president to APC becomes just the vehicle. So the fuel, the energy, the gas they used to put to fuel the vehicle is from Renewed Hope agenda, and maybe not be from the party.
And that is why even some of us are worried. Some of us are worried who know about how APC started, who were involved. I'm not a politician. I've never been a card-carrying member of any party, but I was part of the formation of APC. I was close to some people who formed the party, and I knew how, it was like joke, like play. We were playing and the party just started. For instance, in Enugu here, it was in a room like this at Fiobon Hotel that the first meeting was convened.
Forget that.
So people were taking us, these people, and they are just jesting and things like that. But today, even governors are struggling to join that party that started in a room. So that is what I'm saying. That is why people like me, from what you said, that Renewed Hope is controlling PDP, APC.
Yes.
APC. I'm worried about it because it means that the party has been.
I said maybe controlling. I didn't say control. I said maybe controlling.
The party has been individualized, and it is not good for democracy. The party should be controlled by the people. The membership of the party should control the party, not one man.
Let me tell you.
Even if the person is the president,
let me tell you,
controlling the party.
This is not the first time. You recall in 1999.
Yes.
There was a PDP in Enugu State.
Yes.
There was a political family called Ebano.
Yes.
Let me leave it at that. And Ebano ran PDP. So, Mr. President has intervened actually severally. Yes. Without actually achieving a lasting solution in this Rivers, because he intervened once, intervened twice, even removed the governor, and we're back, and that is still happening. Will you see the president as not having the capacity or the political will to have a one-time solution for Rivers? And since whatever he had done, whether it is, I don't know what he was doing, whether it's arbitration or mediation, and then that this, is there any other method is there anything you could advise on how this conflict in Rivers could be sorted out without actually following this legislative rascality, as you call it?
Honorable, I know that you are very powerful member of the Chartered Institute of Mediators and Conciliators.
I'm not looking for a job.
I think they should consult your institute, because the president, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not comfortable about people saying that the president is intervening in rivers. He has no powers to intervene in rivers. You know, if you ask me, I will tell you that the president is meddling in the affairs of Rivers State, which he should not do. The constitution is very clear. The general provisions, part 1, establishes the federal government, the state government, and the federal capital territory. I said it here when we started this program. The president is in control of the executive arm of government at the federal level. Governors are in control of their states. The states are within the purview of governors. The president should have allowed the governor of Rivers State to take charge of what happened between him.
If the president didn't intervene, that man would have been impeached long time ago.
No, let me tell you, that is what we think. That presidential intervention emboldened the Wike group. If when that matter started, the president remained neutral without involving himself in Rivers State, by now Fubara must have dealt with the FCT minister.
There's no neutrality in politics.
Fubara must have sent him to political oblivion.
There's no neutrality in politics.
But the president meddled into the affairs of.
However, he said
meddled into the affairs of Rivers State, which he shouldn't have done.
He's the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. And if one part of the state is burning, it is his inherent duty to intervene.
No, not when Rivers was not burning. It was just political difference.
Okay. What did it
political disagreement that he should have allowed the governor of the state to handle between him and his. After all, governors in Nigeria here handled their godfathers. Chimaroke handled Jim Wobodo. Mbadinuju and Mekofo, we knew how it ended. Ngige and Chris Oba, Adedibu and Ladoja. It happened. It's not when
the Wike is different.
No, and let me tell you,
Wike is different.
No, because Wike is an appointee of the president.
So Wike is different.
Wike is an appointee of the president, and that emboldened him. That presidential intervention emboldened him, and he continued causing crisis in Rivers State.
Okay,
and I don't know how this crisis will end.
Now, however it ends, who do you think are the winners and losers in this political drama in Rivers State? And how might a final solution change the political landscape of the South-South? Because that is affecting the whole of South-South. Yes. Before they said Bayelsa was not going to defect. Bayelsa has defected. Yes. There's no state in the South-South that is not APC now.
Yes. Yes.
So who are the winners and losers of all this political drama in Rivers State?
Let me tell you, I think the people of Rivers, they are the losers.
They are the losers.
Because when Fubara came in as governor, their expectations were high. They expected Fubara to help to build roads, equip the schools, employ teachers, provide basic services and amenities. But what is happening in Rivers State now, between him and the House of Assembly, with what is happening, I'm not sure that he has performed optimally, So the people of the Rivers State are definitely the losers of what is happening between these political gladiators.
Who are the winners then? Who are the winners?
No, I'm not. I don't think there is any winner in what is happening. Somebody like the FCT minister will be parading himself around that he has won. But it's posterity that will judge everybody. It's posterity. Because if at the end of the day, the legacy you left for yourself during your lifetime, was that you destroyed your state. Even your children and your children's children, wherever they mention or whenever they mention their name, people will say, okay, your father was the one that destroyed Rivers State. So at certain things we do, in life, we think that we can get away with it. Karma will come one day.
Okay, what would be your advice to the political stakeholders in Rivers as to what steps they must take to ensure a return to normalcy and constitutional rule in Rivers State? Because as we ended this, you must profile a way to achieve this. It's not enough knocking Wike and Fubara. What would be your advice?
No, at times I continue to ask myself whether there are still elders in Rivers State. Because
they are divided their elders.
If they still have elders, this kind of problem is the kind of problem that elders will, first of all, call themselves to a meeting and sit down and talk to themselves about this matter. That, then after talking to themselves, they will now call the key players and sit them down and tell them, look, that this problem must end. Because it's not, I don't think any external, it's just like when in a family, the husband and wife, they are quarreling. And once you bring a third party, there's always problem. And I think that presidential intervention is a third party coming into Rivers. The president is that third party. He should leave Rivers alone. Let the people in Rivers go and sort themselves out. The genuine peace in Rivers State can only come from the people of Rivers State. Nobody can induce or bring peace to Rivers State except the people of Rivers State.
Okay, I want to, that's a good point where we should conclude in. But my last question to you would be, in the unlikely event
Yes.
that the impeachment becomes successful, what is the clear line of succession according to the Nigerian Constitution, and what are the potential challenges to that transition?
It's very important because that is another issue I wanted to bring up in this matter. Because now the House of Assembly, they are saying they want to impeach both Fubara and the deputy governor. So which means that if they succeed in impeaching these two people, the speaker becomes the governor. So this is, to me,
for 6 months.
Election. What is happening in Rivers is a mutiny. That thing is not an impeachment. It is a mutiny. It is a civilian or democratic, how do I put it, democratic coup. That is what they want to do. They want to topple the government so that the speaker wants to topple the government. Martin Amewule is a very ambitious man. He's a very, very ambitious man.
All of us are ambitious.
No, it's not, but in this case, no, I think he should look at that his ambition. It is inordinate. It is in, how can you want to remove even if Fubara refused to present the budget, why are you bringing the deputy? Because ordinarily, if Fubara was the person penciled for,
it's a joint ticket.
No, even if
it's a joint ticket.
No, there's nothing like joint ticket.
If a deputy is not qualified to run for election, it qualifies the governor. Don't you know?
No, but we are not talking about election.
They
want to impeach. If they want to impeach
Fubara, there are two has business as one. So
if they want to impeach Fubara, according to them, that committed gross misconduct, let them remove him. Why did they bring deputy governor? Bringing deputy governor shows that they have an ulterior motive, and that ulterior motive is to remove the two of them so that Martin himself will now become in charge. Wike sees Martin as a loyal man. He talked about blind loyalty when we started this, and I told you that it could be blind loyalty, and Wike wants somebody who is blindly loyal to him, who he will tell, go and do this, and the person will do that, the person will do that. How can you be dictating for a governor like that? It
doesn't work like that, though.
You see?
It doesn't work like that. Before we just end there, it doesn't work like that. Because I know governors who thought that their successors will behave in a certain manner. They never did.
Yes.
When they were putting Fubara, I'm sure they thought he would behave in a certain manner. Saraki and his father.
Yes.
I can go on and on and on.
Yes.
Saraki, the old Saraki was doing a lot of things, installing people. He said, let him install my son.
Yes.
He installed the son. We started giving the son order, the guy refused.
Because the son was not, even the son wanted to install his own person. Because Saraki wanted to, after the son, the daughter will take over. In what is Kwara State, the property.
You're not
of the
agreeing
Saraki
that
family.
even if Martins as speaker becomes governor, he may not do the bidding of Wike. I just wanted to bring it to that point.
It is possible.
Yes,
it is possible. It is. The man may even move against Wike more than.
Okay.
Fubara.
If you were to advise the governor and the lawmakers in Rivers State, take this as their concluding remarks, what would you tell them?
No, I will advise the governor to approach the House of Assembly members. That I will advise him to approach them. At times you come down from, because they have the instrument they can use to remove him. That is one thing. I will advise him to come down from the High House, go and approach the House of Assembly and discuss with them. If he has challenges, he should explain those challenges to them. If there are issues making it difficult for him to prepare the budget and come and lay before them, you should explain it to them. And in as much as I'm not happy with what the FCT minister is doing in Rivers, I don't know the agreement he entered with Fubara. So Fubara should go and also sort himself out with the FCT minister. That is the thing that can bring peace to Rivers. We are tired of this Rivers matter. Let me tell you, I told a friend the other day, I had a friend from the West, and I told him, look, that this Rivers matter was what started distracting the president from the first day he came into office. If there are things the Tinubu government did not do so well since it assumed office in Nigeria, this Rivers crisis was contributed, because the thing distracted him so much. The time he should have used in looking into important national matters, he devoted that time to resolving the dispute between his minister and his governor in the state. And all these things.
I'm sure that did not contribute to his discovering, saying subsidy is gone. They won. There was no crisis. There was no crisis in Rivers when he did that.
No, but at least even when he did that without, there was no crisis. But when he assumed office, the time he wanted to think out palliatives and things to cushion the effect of that his reckless pronouncement on Nigerians.
It was a presidential.
The Rivers matter.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you that the presidential pronouncement is a reckless pronouncement.
It was a reckless pronouncement. Why?
That's entirely
imagine something that torpedoed the economy of the country.
But it's getting better. The fuel prices are going down now. Is it not going down?
No, Honorable, please. I hope you are not one of those that are deceived with this. How much was the price of fuel when how much was the price of fuel when this government?
No, it gradually is going to go down.
And you are now selling fuel 800 naira. And you're telling me that how much was the price of fuel? Let them not provoke us, because we know what is happening.
Chekwube,
if they get second term, they will sell fuel for 2,000 naira a liter. So.
Dr. Chekwube Emmanuel Nzomiwu, media scholar, public affairs consultant, and the veteran journalist, want to thank you so very much for kickstarting our new year in a very robust, challenging manner. We've enjoyed every bit of our conversation with you.
Yes,
we want to thank you, and we do hope that when next we call on you, which will be very regular,
yes,
you oblige us with your presence.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Yeah. And to Nigeria, the question we must ask is not just, can Governor Fubara be impeached? But more importantly, should impeachment be weaponized? Continue this conversation on our channels, Facebook, YouTube, at Freedom Square TV. Thank you for being a part of this opening shot. Join us same time Monday for yet another interesting edition. Remain blessed.